Delving into the Selfish Gene, a comprehensive analysis of Richard Dawkins's landmark work. In the realm of evolutionary biology, Richard Dawkins stands as a towering figure, his work renowned for its clarity, insight, and groundbreaking contributions to our understanding of the natural world. Among his most celebrated works is The Selfish Gene, a 1976 book that revolutionized our perception of evolution by introducing the concept of the selfish gene. A paradigm shift in evolutionary thinking. Prior to Dawkins's work, evolution was primarily viewed through the lens of natural selection acting on individuals or entire populations. Dawkins, however, proposed a radical new perspective, that evolution is driven by the selfish replication of genes, the fundamental units of heredity. The selfish gene, a new unit of selection. Dawkins argued that genes, rather than individuals or groups, are the true units of selection in evolution. Genes compete with each other for survival, passing on their traits to the next generation through the process of reproduction. This gene-centered view of evolution shifted the focus from the survival of the fittest organism to the survival of the fittest gene. Replicators and vehicles. Dawkins introduced the terms replicators and vehicles to further explain his concept. Replicators, such as genes, are units that make copies of themselves, while vehicles, such as organisms, are the means by which replicators are transported and replicated. Evolution, according to Dawkins, is a competition among replicators to create more of themselves through the use of vehicles. The gene's eye view of evolution. Dawkins' gene-centered perspective offered a fresh and insightful way to understand the complexities of evolution. He proposed the concept of the gene's eye view, suggesting that we should view evolution from the perspective of a gene, rather than from our own human perspective. This approach allows us to better understand the motivations and behaviors of organisms, which are ultimately driven by the genes they carry. Altruism and cooperation from a selfish perspective. Dawkins' theory of the selfish gene might seem to contradict the existence of altruistic behaviors in nature. However, Dawkins explains that even seemingly altruistic acts can be explained from a gene-centered perspective. Altruistic behaviors can benefit the genes of the altruist indirectly by increasing the survival and reproductive success of relatives who share those genes. Memes, the replicators of culture. Dawkins' concept of replicators extends beyond the realm of biology. He introduced the term meme to describe units of cultural information that, like genes, can replicate and spread from person to person. Memes can be ideas, behaviors, or even fashion trends. They evolve through a process of mutation, selection, and transmission, much like biological genes. The selfish gene's impact on science and society. The selfish gene has had a profound impact on the fields of biology, psychology, and even economics. It has inspired countless new research projects and has challenged traditional views on evolution and human behavior. Dawkins' work has also had a significant impact on popular culture, making evolutionary concepts more accessible to a wider audience. Key elements of the book. The selfish gene concept. Dawkins introduces the concept of the selfish gene, arguing that genes, rather than individuals or populations, are the true units of selection in evolution. Replicators and vehicles. Dawkins distinguishes between replicators, units that make copies of themselves, such as genes, and vehicles, the means by which replicators are transported and replicated, such as organisms. The gene's eye view. Dawkins proposes the concept of the gene's eye view, suggesting that we should view evolution from the perspective of a gene rather than from our own human perspective. Altruism and cooperation. Dawkins explains how seemingly altruistic behaviors can be explained from a gene-centered perspective, as they can indirectly benefit the genes of the altruist. Memes, replicators of culture. Dawkins introduces the concept of memes, units of cultural information that, like genes, can replicate and spread from person to person. A literary landmark and a source of inspiration. The Selfish Gene is a landmark work in the history of scientific writing. Dawkins' engaging style, his sharp wit, and his passionate defense of scientific truth have made the book a classic, inspiring generations of readers to think critically about evolution and its implications for the natural world and human society. Dawkins' enduring legacy. Richard Dawkins is a prolific writer, a brilliant scientist, and a passionate advocate for science education. His work has helped to reshape our understanding of the natural world, human evolution, and the importance of scientific integrity.